In this video, we're going to discuss some more information about a distribution given a histogram. If you recall in our previous video, we learned that this distribution was what we call skew right. We also identified a possible outlier to the right. And we discussed that the bin class that had the largest frequency was between 5 to 7 miles, and that frequency was about 90 students. Distance from Cincinnati State to home. So these were the three that we discussed. In this video, we're going to discuss some more about its shape. What measures of central tendency would we use for this distribution? And what measures of spread? So let's go back to the shape of the histogram. This is skewed right, but let's talk about the peaks, the modes. We could say that this distribution is what we call bimodal because there are two peaks, one here and one here. And you could also argue that this could be trimodal, as there's a peak here, and a peak here. Either of those two descriptions would be correct. Now the next piece of information we can discuss is what measure of central tendency would we use to describe the center of this distribution. Because this distribution is skewed right, we would use the median to describe the center of this distribution. If you recall, the median is resistant to outliers, and this is maybe a possible outlier. So if you have a distribution that's heavily skewed, you should use the median for the measure of central tendency. And then the last piece of information we can discuss about this distribution is what measure variation would we use to talk about the spread. Now we have different measures of spread. We have the range, we have standard deviation, we have the IQR, and in this case, since this is skewed, measure of dispersion we would like to use would be the IQR. So let's summarize. So we could say that this is bimodal or trimodal. We could also say that the measure of the center is the median. And last, the measure of spread is the IQR, interquartile range, and that's Q3 minus Q1. Some people may even say just report the 5-number summary. Either of those would be correct. So to recap, this distribution is skew right, has a possible outlier to the right. The bin with the largest frequency was between 5 and 7. We could say that this distribution is bimodal or trimodal. The measure of the center should be the median. The measure of the spread should be the IQR or the 5-number summary. Thanks for watching.